So, this is my dear friend Alec, who I've known since I was...
Primary school?
Yeah, primary school.
Just Thompson's class.
It's about 18 years I think we've known each other. Might be a bit longer than that. Really come here today to have a little chat about his Vauxhall, which he's owned for 36 years. When I was racing around in Cortinas, Escorts and God knows what else as a teenager, Alec decided that this was going to be the car for him, and he's still got it nearly 40 years later. So I thought we'd find out why. So first of all, why a VX4 90?
Good question. I don't really know. I think I liked them. I saw one at a show when I was a teenager, and I just liked the look of it, and it was something a bit sporty, so I thought I'd go for it, just something completely different to what any of my mates had. You say at the time, nearly all my mates either had a Mark 1 Fiesta or Mark 1 Escort, and this was just something completely different. It's probably not worth as much, but it definitely isn't worth as much nowadays. But I've had over the years many other cars, including Fords now. But this has just kind of always stayed with me. I've always kept it as a toy. I used to drive it every day. It was my only car. Parked outside my parents' house. I came down in the morning and somebody had driven in the back of it. So I had that repaired, and then lent it to my brother, and the lorry driver fell asleep on the wheel, nearly wrote it off, spun it around about 180 degrees. And I got the car repaired, came back, I'd had it back a couple of months, and I was driving it to a car show, and somebody went in the back of it, the other side. But it actually did me a favour because that wing was starting to go rusty. So it's been with me for years. And I just use it as a toy now. It sits in the garage. I've got 6 other cars, so it doesn't get used a huge amount, but I just bring it out on a nice day and have a play with it.
So why the story of it's a 61, 62?
I believe it's a 63 model year. I believe the Victor Club told me once it was probably built around October, November 62.
Okay.
Vauxhall always bought the new model year in September of each year. So this was a slightly later model, and according to the notes of my anorak pocket, you can tell the difference because it's got a slightly different stripe on the side. The 61 model had a thin stripe that was kinked at the side, so this 63 model had a different stripe. Another fundamental difference, which I found out much later on, I bought some new door cards that came out of a 61 model, and the window winders got moved, so I had no idea why Vauxhall moved to replace the window winders, but they wouldn't fit.
So tell us the story about the 68 reg then, because clearly F doesn't come from 62, 63.
Correct. Well, when I bought the car, I wrote to the previous owner who had it for 20 years. It'd been in one family, a family called Macklin in Twickenham. I had the guy's address and logbook, so I wrote to him, and he wrote back and told me the history. And it turned out this car originally belonged to an RAF officer serving in Cyprus. It was on an RAF base in Cyprus, and it stayed there for the first 5 years of its life. It then came to London, got re-registered in '67 and left registration.